Thank you. Thank you. Patience. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. That's for sure. If I'm here to give you any inspiration, I'm here to get inspiration. Really from you, what a vibe and what energy. Hello, Belfast. Hello, Irish friends. Thank you, Michelle, for the very, very kind introduction. It is a great, great honor to be with you here today. I bring with me the heartfelt greetings of the Palestinian leadership and the Palestinian people. A people who, like you, have long and proud history of struggle for justice. And like you, never, ever gave up hope for a better future. But allow me first to thank the Sinn Féin, Mary Lou, the president of the party, of course, Michelle O'Neill, the first minister, and I had the privilege of visiting the Parliament House today, and Declan Carey and your team for extending this invitation. And I am really moved and touched by the presence of Jerry Adam and Icon. And by all the leaders of the movement that I grew up reading about. What an honor that I'm looking at names that we have known and got inspired by. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our guest of honor today, my very good friend, Her Excellency, our ambassador in Dublin, Dr. Gilan Bradley. Ambassador Wahbi is lucky, very lucky, if he posted in Dublin and to bring the already historic relationship between the Irish and the Palestinian people to a new level of solidarity. So we thank you, Gilan. And also I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the leaders and the representatives of the Palestinian community in Belfast. Where are you? Can you start it? Actually, better. Excellent. That's what I'm saying. When you we are really, really proud of our community wherever they are, but particularly here in Belfast. They feel home among their own people and family, and they make us welcome. Mostly doctors, professors, professionals, and your contribution to this part of the world makes us very, very proud. And your ability to form the association of the community to help lead the movement is very well appreciated. And please coordinate with Muhammad Sama'i, who is the coordinator. And of course, allow me to also wholeheartedly thank St. Mary's University for hosting us. Thank you, St. Mary. Thank you, Yami.
Thank you,
And my friends, there is such a natural bond, as Michel just said, bond between the Irish people and the Palestinians. Bond of love, of affection, of partnership, of solidarity, of mutual and joint journey. And with people across the world that have endured the long road to freedom and justice. And my friends, as horrifying, dreadful the situation in Palestine right now is, I have hope. Yes, I have hope that our freedom and our liberation is in sight. And I have hope that the groundswell of public solidarity from across the world will help us achieve this. Friends, you have seen the horrors that Israel has committed and continues to commit over the past 18 months. And I don't need to tell you that Israel did not start its aggression a year and a half ago. Israel has enjoyed decades of impunity for its many, many crimes of terror, oppression, apartheid, and colonial occupation. And now, after the last 18 months, as its genocide was live streamed across the world, no one can pretend they did not know. No one can say they did not. The heroism of our people in documenting their own execution is unprecedented. So everybody on the face of the earth knows what is taking place. No one can say we did not know. And I salute. And by the way, before I go there, what is happening in Gaza is a genocide. Yeah. It's a genocide. And already a year and 3 months ago, the International Court of Justice, that's the highest world court, decided to put Israel officially on trial for the plausible crime of genocide, and I'm quoting the legal ruling. So once the highest court has decided to place Israel on trial for genocide, the conversation should be over. And I wonder, for those who are refusing to use the term, what do they want? Israel has killed and maimed 200,000 people in Gaza in the last 18 months. That's 10% of the Gaza population. That's more than half of the population of Belfast. What do they want? They want 500,000 killed to call it a genocide? They want Israel to destroy not just 70% of homes, 80% of schools, 90% of hospitals, 100% of universities like this, 100%. What would qualify for a genocide? Except still what we are suffering from. Starving 2.3 million people is never a genocide? What is a genocide? What is a genocide? And those who refuse to call it a genocide is because of the sheer level of dehumanization, of hypocrisy, of supremacy. Staggering, really staggering. However, my friends, I want you to know an important message. That what you have done in the last 18 months, despite the wounds, have made the Palestinian people realize they are not alone. They have been following every act you've done. And all these actions have made all the difference. Don't let anybody tell you that, all the protest movement and all the solidarity movement did not do much. It did everything. It really gave the message, when the message was needed, that the Palestinian people are not forgotten, that they are equal to all other human beings, and that their fight and their struggle is legitimate. And as I speak to you today, Gaza is burning, literally burning. More than a year and a half, 18 months of mass murder, mass destruction and mass displacement. And in the West Bank, where I was only a couple of weeks ago, violent settlers rampaging and terrorizing, literally terrorizing Palestinian villages like they did in the Nakba events of the 1947 tragedy. 40,000 Palestinians have been displaced in the West Bank. And we all know that this is the heart and at the heart of Israel's plan to depopulate the Palestinians from the Palestinian land. We are witnessing one of the darkest times in our history. And I don't just mean Palestinian history. I mean in human history. More than 60,000 people have been killed in direct Israeli carpet bombing of communities, of families, including this very hour in Shujai, to the east of Gaza City. 50 innocent people were instantly killed, mostly families, 8 families. Countless thousands more have succumbed because of the destruction of Gaza's health sector. The use of disease as a weapon of war, infrastructure and homes, and the denial of aid have also caused a huge amount of suffering and death. We are only counting those who were killed by airstrikes, but we're not still counting those who were killed by other means. Whole families have been erased from the civil register. Entire neighborhoods have been flattened. You all have followed the assassination of the 15 Palestinian paramedics. You all have followed the attempts to cover it up, to bury them in a shallow grave, and their cars. They only made one mistake. They buried the mobile phone of one of the paramedics, and then the world knew what has happened. Why would Israeli army target the paramedics and the rescue teams and the ambulances? Why? Because it's a genocide. Because once they injure and shoot people, they don't want anybody to rescue them. They must die. And famine, my friends, famine is used quite openly as a weapon of war. The 2.3 million people in Gaza, as we speak, are starving. Humanitarian aid has started for a few weeks now. And all goods delivery have stopped. This, again, is indeed a dark chapter in human history and a dent in our conscience. And yet, my friends, we endure. This is not the first time. We struggle and we hold up. We do harm our children and teach them love and perseverance. Not because we enjoy suffering, we don't. Not because we are resilient, we are. But because we know that the alternative is erasure. The alternative to steadfastness, perseverance, is erasure. Please let that sink in for a minute, because it is erasure, extermination, annihilation. That's the alternative fist. And this is not a hyperbole, my friends. Israeli officials have been quite clear about what the intent is. They're very public about it. They're not hiding it. At a minimum, this is the wholesale ethnic cleansing of Palestinians from Gaza, along with the annexation of the entire West Bank. We are being graced. Our land is being stolen. And just so it, stolen even at a faster rate. Our resources are wrecked. Our children are being brutalized. Our homes are being destroyed. Our hostages are being tortured. And Palestinians inside Israeli detention camps are not prisoners, they are hostages. Hostages, rounded, tortured, raped, put in jail, without trial, without charge. In martial laws, the conviction rate is 99%. Many of them are children. And you call that prisoners? They are not criminals. They are hostages to the Israeli oppressive regime. And I want to call from this podium, free Palestinian hostages.
You have to play your series. Good.
And all of this is very well documented, not by us, by the UN, by the numerous international human rights organizations. And yet, it is being met with a warm official silence, inaction by governments and world powers. And silence, my friends, in this instance is complicit. Silence is complicit. As a hero of our age and time, the late Bishop Desmond Tutu once said, of South Africa, of course, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressed. You have chosen the side of the oppressed. But we also know that we are not alone. We do know we are not alone. We have shown have shown the world that principled solidarity, how it looks like. My friends, we have been following what you're doing and what you're saying. Ireland, along with Spain, Norway, South Africa, and many others have turned to the legal instruments available to them to recognize the state of Palestine and demand accountability. So please, a big round of applause to Ireland, Spain, United.
Thank you. Thank you. So I got with them. I go to them. Yes, thank you.
And many other countries at the International Court of Justice and at the International Criminal Courts, at the UN General Assembly. Those are options open to all countries. And South Africa have shown the world how to be a responsible state and a state actor. At a time when many have walked away, the Irish people have stood tall. Your voices have echoed across the world, calling for justice, calling for accountability, calling for peace, a real peace, built on justice, freedom and equality, not an absence of conflict, built on silence and subjugation. You understand what real peace means. You have spoken truth to power, even when it was interrogated. Then, set an example, as did many other leaders. And that's why we must recognize those leaders and those countries that have stood by the side of humanity, by the side of international law. And my friends, you have marched with us, literally, stood with us, and raised our flag, the flag of Palestine, when others tried to tear it down. And I was just driving by in the streets of Belfast. Everywhere you go, the flag of Palestine is flying high and proud. And the murals on Belfast, on the way to the streets of London and Dublin, your support has never wavered. For that, we are eternally grateful. We do not ask for empathy. We don't. We ask no solidarity. It's one strength. Our rights is your rights. Our future is yours. The moment we forgo an ounce of our right, we have forgone your rights. Because rights cannot be subdivided. And we ask for justice, What we face is not a clash of religions or civilizations. Religions are innocent on this. It is the deliberate disposition of an entire people for the benefit of another. It is not a fight between right and left authorities. It is not a fight between right and left. It is a fight between right and wrong. Right and wrong. Ours is a struggle against apartheid. Ours is a struggle against ethnic cleansing, against genocide, and it must be named as such. It is a struggle against genocide, against supremacy, racism, against discrimination, against oppression and subjugation, against collective punishment. And just like in South Africa, this system of supremacy, racism, segregation can and will be dismantled. But friends, solidarity must be more than symbolic, must be active, must be political. We demand sanctions. We demand sanctions. All illegal settlements must be sanctioned. All organizations that support these colonial settlements must be sanctioned. The state that sponsors these illegal settlements must be sanctioned. And this isn't a demand, this is an obligation. It is an obligation on every state, a contracting party of the international system. It is an obligation of the UK government, it is an obligation of the Irish government, it is an obligation of all who ban trade with this illegal entity. Also an obligation is an arms embargo. Arms embargo now. And legal accountability for war criminals. You want to see war criminals, not in New York, shredding the UN Charter, not in London or Dublin. We want to see them in The Hague. We want those. And to date, my friends, Israel has not only been shielded from accountability for its crimes, but actively supported through financial, political, and material support by some governments. In contradiction, in violation of the recent opinion of the International Court of Justice that clearly stated that Israel's presence in occupied territory is unlawful, that all of its settlements presence is unlawful and must be dismantled, and any third party must cease immediately any political, legal, or material support to all these illegal practices. So every government that still provides any support to Israel is in breach of the highest world's court order. Okay. And this will be remembered as a political stain on the conscience of all those that could have done something different but chose not to. And therefore, my friends, we need to help enforce a ceasefire. And you have seen, since Israel has broken the last ceasefire agreement, how the situation has evolved into a mass murder. We need to use all of our efforts to enforce that, and we must say it and say it loud. Palestine is not a real state deal. And Gaza is not for sale.
Listen.
And yes, we agree on one thing. Gaza is gorgeous. I was warning Gaza. Gaza is gorgeous and beautiful. But it being stones. No one loves Gaza more than its people, and no one will defend Gaza more than the Palestinian people, both in Jerusalem, in Jenin, and in Tulkarem, and all of us. All of us. And with us the region, the Arab world, and with us the rest of the international community. We will rebuild Gaza. We cannot build it more beautiful because you have to say Gaza was beautiful. But we will build more homes, more schools, more hospitals, more universities. And we will reunite Gaza with the West Bank. And we will start actually last pushed towards the real goal, which is liberation, which is ending of this occupation, which is the root cause of all this, my friends. Nelson Mandela once said, sometimes it falls upon a generation to be great. We can be that generation. We can be that generation. And there are many lessons to be learned from your political history and struggle. The Good Friday Agreement shows that another way is possible, so long as there is willingness, good faith, and commitment to peace, to justice, equality, rooted in the rule of law. Let us join forces to form a global movement that refuses to normalize oppression. Refuses to normalize oppression. Let us together try to build a future where no child grows under drone surveillance, behind checkpoints, or in exile. We do not want revenge. We do not want the revenge. We want accountability. Accountability. We want liberation, self-determination, return to our homes and farms, and peace. Yes, we do want this. Not as a prize handed down by our occupier, our colonizer, our oppressor, but as a right reclaimed by our people. It is not a gift, not a gift, not a favor. We will reclaim this, our land. Long it is. We do struggle for a better future. But not only that. We struggle also because we love what is behind us. What is behind us? We do not struggle because we do not struggle because we hate what is in front of us only. We do not struggle because we hate what is in front of us only. And there is a lot of issues in front of us. But we struggle because of our love to what is behind us. We love our land. We love our land. We love our people. We love our heritage, our history, our culture, our language, our poetry, our children. We love life. And there is another love we have. We love you. We love you and the many millions of people like you who have been there.
We love Palestine.
And as Bobby Sands say, our revenge will be the laughter and our children. So, my Irish brothers and sisters, your journey has inspired generations of Palestinians. Your peace process, imperfect or persistent, has taught us that even the deepest wounds can begin to heal. Your solidarity reminds us that we are not forgotten, And your journey forward together will not be one as victims. Our journey together will not be as victims, but as vectors. This is not a movement for the oppressed and our allies, but a movement of equal partners in the same fight for justice and freedom, and we shall be free. And I am going to try to say this in a proper way. Sirasha Don Palestine.
Yes, stop it. You go to it, Brian?
What a beautiful world Sirasha is. And Palestine is. So free Palestine, and thank you very much.
Jump. No, it's that's great. That's great. Here's what we're thinking. That's been every kid at school. Yeah, the certain. Right. Deep. Open out. That's really exciting. You quick. Awesome. There goes. And do it. Please, our time is in jerk.